Greetings everyone and welcome back to the Bionicle Retro Review, and today we are finally looking at the Bohrok, the basically Bohrok Taragas. I mean, what else can you really say about these guys? I mean, they're really carbon copies of the Taraga. Personally, I think the Taragas are better because they are in my opinion. But anywho, aside from opinions, let's get into the set numbers. So starting off with 8550 Galak Va, 8551 Korak Va, 8552 Livak Va, 8553 Parak Va. I don't know. It's hard to say it. I always get stuck with that name. But anyway, 8554 Tanak Va, and 8555 Nuvak Va. That is a lot of V's in there. But anyway, so yes, all six. Oh, I forgot to mention that the retail price was $3. Yeah, these were very small and not, I would say inexpensive, but despite how much they cost back then, they were still a pretty penny when I purchased them. At least all of them come together. But aside from that, they were $3 when it was released back in 2002, and now they're much more. But anyway, let's start off with the instructions, actually, because I have two instructions, because I have the Galak Vine poster of them posing together, and then the back is the instructions, which the instructions kind of blow because it's very simple, but they don't even include the combiner model. You have to go online. I mean, imagine back then when internet wasn't that greatest and you had to go online to find the instructions. I mean, tell me in the comments, maybe I'm wrong, maybe there was something you could get in stores to have these instructions, but I don't really think they were. But anyway, so let's start off with the pros, because I always like to start with the good before I go into the bad. The pros are that they are, well, they have surprisingly a good amount of articulation, actually. Let me get right there. So surprisingly, they have, good neck articulation. Naturally, they can swivel their heads up and down like so, and down and up, and you could actually really pose them with their necks, at least. That is surprising, and I actually like that a lot more than I thought I was going to. But I mean, that's good. So yeah. And they have you can just swivel their big Tahunga or Mictoran feet around, and they have one free arm, and the other arm is used for their function, which you could just have them right here. You can press their right arm usually, and it's supposed to flip their Krana, because they have extra Krana for the Bohroks to, help not see. That's a lot better. That's a lot better show of that. So the function is pretty good, so that's obviously a pro. But yeah, they have carry extra Krana, just a little story bit, a little extra Krana to help out the Bohrok, obviously, because that's what they serve. I mean, the Kranas was not used to control them, but they still serve the swarm regardless. But they carry extras for if the Bohrok run out of any, they can just kind of just pop their face plates open and say, bam, here you go, an extra one. So yeah, so that's kind of their job here. So let me fix that again. But yeah, so that's it for their little story bit, even if they don't have much story to go with, but I still have to include it. Anyway, the other pro is, well, they introduced new colors for certain pieces, like Parak Va this is the same hammer staff thing that Winua, I think. Taraga Winua, I think that's his name. I don't remember. The brown Taraga, obviously, but his comes in tan instead of, like Hershey brown. So that's a cool piece to get. And all of their feet are Tahunga feet, but they're actually like in their more primary colors. It's actually the Toa colors, so that's some variety there. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And even the Kranas come in different colors. They're not the same as the Bohrok's normal colors that you get with them. They're different colors. Like, they have purple, yellow, tan, white, black, gray. It provides a little variety. I would actually say that's a pro in my opinion, because that's pretty cool. And I just, as I mentioned, the articulation. But that is probably where all of the pros actually go to. So let's get into the cons. So cons are as follow. You cannot pose them very high. You cannot, because once you try to stand them up, like say you try to stand them upright, their crowder will fall out their backs. So as you can see, you cannot put that in and it will fall out. So hope you don't like the Kronos too much in their backs, and you will not be able to have his arm down like this if you want, because his thing will be, his backpack, whatever if you will be standing up, and it's not gonna hold it anyway. I mean, of course there's probably something you can do to kind of fix that, obviously, but you could not have this. You have to take this out and then just put a pin in if you want to have the arm just independent as well, and this will not be a part of it. So the function will be completely lost if you were to try to make this just a free independent arm that you can move without the function. So that's a con. And also that they're very, I know they're like $3 sets, but they're very short. They're not very, they're clone sets, and they're not very interesting clone sets. They're not like the Taraga. They were clone sets, but they're very unique because their masks were different. They're introducing new masks. With the Bohrok VOD, they don't introduce anything new. All they have is just the Bohrok's weapons as their heads / faces, and even the colors with their eyes is the same as the Bohrok. I mean, I know they're supposed to be similar, but they're like really just miniature Bohroks, but not without the cool rolling features, in my opinion. So I don't really like that too much. And for another con, I would say would be I can't really think of another con besides all that. Well, like all the weapons are fine except for, I would probably say, it's probably like this is like a nitpicky thing, just me just nipping, but I will say for Kurok Vi, his weapons are just pathetic. Like, what is he really gonna do with this, with these baby little tooth nail things? It's like, I know they're not supposed to be like inherently opposing, but it's just like, what are you gonna do with that? Even with Levok Vog, because he has these little katanas, I mean, not much you're gonna do with that. So I don't know, they don't really stand out to me. They don't really feel very cool to have. I mean, it's nice to have it for the collection, but aside from that, I just personally am not like super crazy about having them. They're average sets, and you're not gonna get much with these. I mean, yeah, I would say if you really want them, I guess go get them. I mean, they're not too expensive. I mean, when I got them, they were almost $80, but this is because I got the whole lot. I didn't get them, like separate. Even though if you get them separately, they're probably gonna be even more. But I don't know. Do as you will. I just can't really say yes, you go out and get these. No, just spend your money on better Bionicle sets. I mean, they're run of the mill. They're not anything special. If you just want some extra Chrono in different colors and different mass variants, then sure, why not? And if you just really want them just for to have them, or hell, just use them as parts, then go right ahead. So that's all I can say for them, and that will probably conclude the review for the Bohrok VOD, because there's not much to really go on to say about them, and I feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna leave it there. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of the Bohrok VOD. I mean, if I'm gonna give them a rating, I'll probably give them like about like a 5.5 out of 10, like a 5.5 basically. Like, they're not the worst, but they're just average. Like, they're like okay, they're all right. I mean, it's like they offer pretty cool, unique color variants of other pieces, and if you want to use it for mocking, that's really what they're good for. But that's about it. So with that, I'm ending it here. So join me next time when I look at the Boxer. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do the the Toanuva just yet. I kind of want to save them until the end, so I do have them, but I want to save them for the end, because if I do them like right now, I feel like that the rest of the review for 2002 would be kind of like whatever. So I kind of want to save them for later on, probably the last sets of the year, ironically, which is, I'm probably not gonna do that again, but for this time I am, because I kind of want to go with the storyline of how, just a little bit, just how the I guess when they were released, because these were released before the Toanuva, so I'm going like that. But that will finish this review. I have been your host, Robethematoran, and I will see you all in the next Bionicle Retro review.